You guys want to see something ridiculous? Here's some of the computers that I've collected in probably the last 2 years from different thrift stores. A good portion of them is actually not from Goodwill. A lot of them are marked. I have most of the computers out here. I have two high-end desktops that one's not hooked up and one is out here. And then I have an i6700K here. And this is my main, gaming computer. This one here just draws a lot of power. It's an i7-7800. I mean, it's a good computer. It's nice. And it meets my requirements because it has a drive. But yeah, it draws a lot of power, so it's not a good computer to just use all the time. So you've got two of these. I bought them for $50 a piece at one thrift store. $49 technically. They're i5s. They're 6500K or 6500s, and I like that particular setup because that all is the LGA 1151 socket. And I started out with two Asus boards that were in a server case, and they have that socket, but they're actually DDR3 low voltage. And my streaming computer is running one of those with a i7 6700K. And that's a pretty good machine there. That processor, depending on what board you put it in, you could do DDR3 or DDR4. But I really like the versatility of the LGA 1151 socket because it can be found in certain DDR3 applications. So it's basically 6th and 7th generation Intel, I guess. i3 7100 right next to it, same socket set. That's actually 3.9 gigahertz for a dual core. It's actually not really bad when you look at what we used to use. I mean, here's an old Pentium dual core. This one here is a 4th generation i5. Again, that was $35 for that. And I'm not really sure why. Oh, I bought it for the 1 terabyte hard drive and the 8 gigs of DDR4 RAM. Okay. Now this one here, $24. No hard drive, 8 gigs of RAM, DDR3, i5 45 or 4460. I don't really know what to do with that. That's like a decent browsing computer. This one here, i3 7100. And I bought this one for $30 because it had 8 gigs of DDR4 in it. It's actually got Wi-Fi and all that. I swapped it to an i5 6500. So I think it even has a hard drive in it now. So I think that one's actually ready to use. Here's a 2nd generation i5 2500K. It's got 8 gigs of DDR3 and it's 500 gigabytes. I think I got that one for like $20 at Goodwill. Here's a Dell PowerEdge server T110. No OS, Intel Xeon X3460 CPU, 500 gigabyte hard drive, 4 gigabytes of RAM, DVD-RW. There was a price on it. I don't remember. I think it was $30. Anyway, I don't understand why anybody would run that thing with a 500 gigabyte hard drive as a server. Like, what were you storing on there? That's not enough room. And also, it uses quite a bit of power. This is a case that I bought. It's a CyberPower case. And it was just empty. And it had a Windows sticker on the side of it here. So I bought it thinking I could use the Windows copy. I was wrong. I didn't know it was a pre-built. This has a i5 4590, which is going to be, real similar to the 4460. That's an LGA 1150 socket. These two probably interchange. And again, another decent i5 machine for basic browsing. 16 gigs of RAM. It draws 63 watts idle. It's got a Ubuntu on it. What I look at computers is how much does it draw? Because if I leave them on all the time. I don't shut them off. This is a very oddball thing, kind of slanted face Blu-ray drive, NZXT case, and usually make pretty decent cases. It was $6.99. I'm like, all right. So it's a first gen i7. The i7 960. It's got a gigabyte GAX58 motherboard. The Cinebench score is under 3,000, which is horrible. There was a 1 terabyte hard drive in it. It has 6 slots of RAM because it's technically a high-end desktop. And it had 12 gigabytes of DDR3. It may or may not. And it's got this crazy HD 6950 graphics card. Just a big, huge tank. Power hog. 220 watts when it's loaded, 120 watts idle. This is like going to put your power bill up $10, $15 a month. And it's not good performance. That's the thing. But I don't know what this is, like a 2011 or 12 computer. Back then, that was, 20, that was, 15, maybe 14 or 15 years ago. So, they weren't efficient back then, but it was still considered like, good, I guess. This one here has been swapped around, and it's got a door on the front of it, which I don't really care for, but I'll take a tower with a drive any day. I do a lot of music stuff, so I like to have that drive. And it's a Corsair case, which is nice. And it's got a ASRock Z87 board. Z87, i5 4570. So the 4570, 4590, 4460. They're all probably the same socket. This one here, I made a trade with the local computer recycler guy. Ended up with this for a white version of this case, which ended up being not a great deal for me, really, because this thing actually is broken. And it's an Antec server case. Inside of it is a Bitcoin miner board running a AMD Athlon X64. And it runs okay. I don't remember what the power consumption was. I just put it in there because I bought the board for like $8 at Goodwill. And somebody had taken it apart and bent the pins on the processor. And I straightened them out and put them back in. This is a NZXT case. And it's got RGB and all that fun crap. Paid $20 for the case, and then I paid like $12 for the board. And this board here has got the i3 in it just for testing purposes. It had bent pins on the board, and I straightened the socket very carefully with a magnifying glass. And I don't even know if it will work if I swap processors. It's kind of a mid-level motherboard. Doesn't really have a lot in the way of sockets. Like, you literally have 3 there and 2 more there. I like to have more USB ports than that because I do a lot of stuff. So then we have this over here, which is the half 920 or something like that, a Cooler Master case, and this has got a 2nd gen i7 in it. I think it's a 2700K, and it sucks a bunch of power. And actually, I guess it's not too terribly bad, but not great. I keep it around because it has FireWire on it, so if I ever ended up with an older flex ham radio, I'd be able to run it off of this. So that's my collection of crap.